in Gujarat, so I need to say Kem Cho. आवाज नहीं आओ तो. Nice, nice. So today we will explore next gen Laravel DevOps with AI. Before that, let me introduce myself. Yeah. So hi, I am Neel Shah, a DevOps community guy. I am a HashiCorp ambassador and also organizing Google Cloud's CNCF HashiCorp's chapter in Gandhinagar, and have mentored more than 15 plus hackathons. And last year, I given talks in 15 plus conferences across the globe. Majorly KubeCon, PlatformCon, centric more towards DevOps space. So it is not working. Yeah, so these are a few of the highlights from the past conferences last year. Yeah, so we deploy a lot of applications. All applications we can see that are green, but are they perfect? The CPU can be 100% spiked. The latency could be increased. So are they not correct? We have deployed the application perfectly, but something happens that we don't know. We need to monitor that. So Laravel scales faster, a lot faster, but we need to monitor that, and at the time of scaling, we need to understand the system, how it is working properly. So scaling is easy. If you see Black Friday or anything, the traffic is boom. But to make that system, self-healing system, it is very much important. So today we will see how the DevOps integrates AI with Laravel. But our DevOps often don't see, like we have queues on Black Fridays, we have DB connection failures, a lot of failures are there. We also have auto-scaling, but auto-scaling in AI arena is not that much impactful. We need something else. So what is that else? So why this talk is important at Laracon? Because we shape a lot of application faster. We really, based on heavy queues, heavy latency, we work on cache, Redis, everywhere. But we also rely on distributed systems. We also have adopted a lot of cloud native tools in the Laravel applications. But how we can involve AI in this portion? DevOps is still alert based. We have notifications in Slack or maybe email or anywhere. We have kept proper thresholds. It is reactive. But what we want is, in this era, we want is it to be predictive, not reactive. Because we always know, when we go with doctor, what do they say? Prevention is better than cure. So similar manner, application should also give us instinct that there are chances of failures or there are chances of spikes from our past data. So waiting for auto-scaling. So if I wait for auto-scale, then I will be like that. Because in today's era, if we wait for auto-scaling, then the worker might be failing or something like that. The process already had stopped. And then it will auto-scale. And that's of no meaning. Because my data can be gained. So challenges with the traditional DevOps. So it is reactive. So let's say if anyone has some experience in DevOps or SRE, so they don't want their life to be troubleshooting. Let's say they woke up at 2 a.m. and need to do troubleshooting and that. So we don't want that. We also don't want a manual intervention, manual troubleshooting, manual RCAs. We don't want that. And obviously, it also impacts on your business performance. And also scaling is uncertain. We don't want that to be more in DevOps field. So yeah, where AI actually comes in. But before that, a small suggestion from my end is AI does not replace Laravel developers. AI does not auto-deploy blindly. AI does not magically fix your bad code. So you need to learn AI, but AI won't replace you. Because I'm meeting a lot of people and they are saying that if the life or job of the developer will be taken by AI, that is not true. we are using AI, it will help us to create better performance, better applications. So what AI does is, it will learn the normal behavior of your application versus the abnormal behavior of application. It will help you to predict that. It will also help you to predict saturation points, that this is the threshold point of your application. These are the failure points of your application, and that will be helpful. It will also help you to trigger safe automated responses. Now, because I will go on after this on some portion of observability. Like we discussed on Nightwatch, we discussed on Sentry, and how we can create autofix from that. We will see that. And also it will create a feedback loop where the application, performance, everything can be seen, and it will be a whole automated pipeline. So instrumenting Laravel application the right ways, these are the major metrics or traces or metrics which we capture. So if anyone is working majorly with Laravel, at least we see that. HTTP latencies, queue depth, worker crashes, worker nodes, DB pool, Redis memory. We see the matrices major, these are the major matrices which we see, and why we see is because each and every, see, we had a whole big application. We have a lot of microservices than that, different services, and we try to capture each and every one. Because if any service fail, then the whole application can be troubleshooted, and it will be a business impact. So we try to monitor each and every service. So for that, these are the major matrices which we try to see. The vision. So telemetry is your raw data. So telemetry are of different types. See, telemetry is the logs, metrics, traces which is there. It is of your application, it is your infrastructure, and all different things which you are using related to your application services or APIs, everything. So what we want is, we have automatic issue detection and prevention. So if you know a term called anomaly detection, so anomaly detection nowadays are there in observability platform. What they does is, they already had your past data, maybe of 7 day or maybe like 1 month, or let's say any amount of month. So what they will do is, they will train that data on some model and they will predict that. So there are chances of spikes or something like that in your next couple of days. So similarly, I will show you some proper examples how you can do that. And you can do that, like if you use any SaaS-based platform, they are providing these features. And even that, if you don't use any SaaS-based platform, you can do this by using open source tools. So there are things like that. Anomaly detection, predictions are nowadays trending with observability. Why with observability? Because observability has all your data, all your application logs, matrices, traces, everything, which are the system of your application. So they can predict that. So what are the 3 pillars? See, 3 pillars of observability are logs, metrics, traces. But what are the 3 pillars of AI-driven DevOps? So major thing is observability, observing all your logs, metrics, traces. Next comes the ML models, how you train your model on top of that data. And the third one comes is automation, how you can automate that thing on your application side to prevent a lot of things. Because if you ask any SRE engineer, they will see troubleshooting is a nightmare. Because if you see recently, like a lot of big cases are happening. I won't say any company's name, but if that side is down, then it impacted a lot of different other companies. So similarly, being a SRE DevOps, I don't want that any SRE or any developer should be in that situation where they need to do that. So AI is useless. See, if you don't, the lady from Nightwatch, they told that more of the companies are adapting observability. So not there. So if you're not capturing your data, then it is useless. You need to capture all your data. And there are also noise. So for noise also, there are like tools which you help to remove noise. Because all data is not necessary. You need to filter which data is necessary and you can store that. All the data is not necessary for you. So AI powered observability structure, how you can architect that kind of thing. So you have Laravel application. if you have logs, metrics, traces, you can use OpenTelemetry. So OpenTelemetry is one of the second most contributed project in CNCF landscape after Kubernetes. How many know Kubernetes? Lot of people. Lot of people. So CNCF Foundation also had this. So CNCF maintains this, and OpenTelemetry is, if you see a lot of observability tool, OpenTelemetry is the backbone of that, and it is contributed by, it is second most project in the CNCF landscape. Lot of people are contributed. If you see that, it has major three components: exporter, processor, and metrics exporter. So what it does is, so it will export all your data from your application. It will change. So previously what was happening is, before OpenTelemetry came, what was happening is, if person A and person B wants to share their data, they had different formats. How they can share? It was not a framework or something like that, a benchmark framework where everyone can utilize that. And then OpenTelemetry came, and it created a unified framework where each and every one can share their data with each other. So it's a universal kind of thing, and a lot of companies are based on this OpenTelemetry. So next comes the OpenTelemetry signals, and third is, maybe you can use Prometheus or any open source tools, plus ML models, and you can do anomaly detection, predictions, scarcity, everything with that. And the fourth will be automating triggers. This is the best thing. What I see is, if there is an alert, let's say your CPU utilization is 80%, so the alert can directly do directly spin up another CPU, or maybe let's say increase the CPU size. If the AI can do this, how your life will be easy. Just consider this scenario. If the CPU utilization is 80% more, then another CPU can be spin up or something like that. So this kind of scenario are now being utilized by a lot of companies. You can also see this. So instrument with OpenTelemetry, traces, metrics, logs. So everyone knows this, the foundation of the open observability. Aggregate with Prometheus. Prometheus is majorly for metrics exporter, and you can see that in Grafana dashboard or any major dashboard, open source dashboards. That. The step 3 comes, it's AI driven insights. One is anomaly detection, which I already explained, how you train your data, and then it will predict that there are chances of spikes or something like that. So anomaly is also in 3 types. Anomaly can be in metrics. Metrics are basically dashboards. Anomaly can also be on logs, because if you see logs, there are error logs, info logs, different kind of logs. So similarly, anomaly can also be applied on logs also. So how many percentage of error logs are coming out in which particular time scenario. And third is automate root cause analysis. So root cause is the one of the best thing which I feel currently we should focus on, because as a SRE or as a DevOps engineer, if any trouble, like any error occurs, then we need to do a post-mortem of application. Post-mortem of application is, we need to create a whole case study of that, we need to submit to the business owner, because if something happens, then we need to tell the business owner what was the scenario for that. Next comes automated remediation, which I was telling, like auto scaling can be done, but it can be alert based. If we just click the alert, then another CPU can be optimized or something like that. Restart slow queries. It should also be automated. If we know like this query, the worker is lagging, then we should utilize some other memory to that, and it should work there. Trigger rollbacks on failures. So this is also major important, because if something has failed, then we should be optimize that, it should be rollback. We know Git, but in different scenario, if you see GitOps is nowadays trending. So if you want to deploy a newer application regularly, what do you use? Argo CD or something, some tool like that? Maybe you're dependent on cloud. So this kind of tool is important, so it will be helpful for you. So automated remediation will be like this. If there is a one slow worker, but if there is AI, it can automate and it will be helpful for you. So it will be a power performance for your application. Yeah. So these are some of use cases. If you know reverse. So predictive scaling is like, if you consider scenario, on Black Friday you know which date is coming on. So before Black Friday, if it automatically triggers that your Kubernetes cluster or Kubernetes pods will wake up more, like will spin up more pods at that time before the Black Friday sale occurs. If this kind of scenario already, because this scenario happens every year. This is just one scenario, Black Friday, everyone knows. Similarly, in India, we have Big Billion Sale or something like that. So at such position, if we use this kind of system, then it will be very much helpful for everyone. And major thing is, we don't want that our customers should be impacted there. Then next case is automatic recovery. Consider a scenario where the memory leak in a job queue is happening over there. So what you will do? You will troubleshoot, or maybe you can restart that. But instead of that, AI detects the memory anomaly threshold, because AI already had your data, your past data. So on top of that, if it detects the anomaly threshold, and if it automatically restarts the worker before it's shut down, then it will be very much helpful for you. So these are some of use cases which will be helpful as a developer. If you create some cron jobs or maybe train some model and do that stuff on your application, it will be very much helpful for you. Next is, it triggers alert for investigation, and you can directly see the RCs over there. So third use case is, so deployment safety. Consider you had deployed a new code over the deployments and in the production, and AI monitors error rates. Every time you deploy, there are some errors coming out which are not, like which are the errors and which are the warnings. Warnings can be neglected over there, but errors can't be. So you know that how many error rates could be are proper and are not proper, and based on that, this kind of deployment can be optimized. So for deployment of application, there are few major deployment strategies. One is blue-green deployment, another is canary deployment, rollout deployment. So these are the strategies which are widely used by different companies, because these strategies help you to revert back anytime, and it is like 100% perfect strategies, because you don't want that if some wrong code has been pushed to production and the application is not working properly, so some portion can be like gone wrong over there. So this kind of strategy can be improved there. Yeah, so what are the key takeaways? So AI transforms DevOps from reactive to proactive. Like, I don't want to be reactive. It should be alert. It should give me alert before that if any error has happened. So it will be proactive. Use OpenTelemetry, at least see OpenTelemetry how it is. I mean, it is completely open. You can see, because it supports a lot of frameworks. So you can at least see and adapt that. Because if we don't observe application, then we will be in a situation where we don't know what has gone wrong and due to which thing it has gone wrong. Third is, start with anomaly detection, build towards autonomous systems, and also, like, I will suggest that if you don't know, if you are using LLMs, a lot of LLMs in your applications, if you have a multi LLM system, so for multi LLM systems also there are tools or like open source tools like OpenLit, so that will help you to understand each and every request, each and every traces, because see, LLMs are costly. As a being a user, we spend a lot of tokens, we spend a lot of money over there. So we need to understand that each and every request, how many tokens it consumes, so it has a whole dashboard kind of thing, where you can see if one request has gone and it is calling different LLMs. So we can see that each and every LLMs is costing how many tokens, how much time it is consuming. You can see everything in this kind of dashboard. So I will say that adapt these kind of systems, because nowadays a lot of people are adapting, and it will help you a lot in this scenario. And yeah, you can use open source tools. A lot of open source tools are there. So yeah, make your intelligent DevOps journey start. So start small, automate what you know, learn continuously, build systems that heal themselves. If you know Kubernetes, so what is the best thing of Kubernetes is auto healing feature. It can auto heal your pods because if you have seen, if you have just thrown out number, I need 2 pods continuously. If one has gone wrong, one has gone down, it will automatically auto heal that. So the application is not crashing there. So similarly, we can automate, auto heal these kind of scenarios in different DevOps pipelines. Yeah, I run a newsletter on LinkedIn. If you want to join, it's around AI and DevOps. So when my session was announced in this Laracon, so a lot of Laravel developer reached out to me, just sharing that how we can start our journey with DevOps also. So yeah, I'm sharing a lot of knowledge on DevOps, so you can also join the subscriber. Yeah, thanks for your attention. And I'm here if you have any questions, you can connect with me.
Thanks, Neel. Thank you. Don't worry, guys. I'm not replacing Vishal. I'm here just filling in for some time. So don't worry. So, Neel, how was the experience at your first ever Laracon?
Yeah, it is great. A lot of amazing people are here and a lot of good network over here. So the major thing where I go in conference is I love to network with a lot of people. Every month I go out anywhere like to just network with people, and these are amazing audience.
Did you find any difference between this community and the communities that you've been part of?
No. All the communities are different, but all are doing great job in their segregated systems. Yeah.
Great, great. Let's take a quick question from the audience, Neel. So this question is by Dinesh Chaudhary. How safe is it to integrate AI in DevOps CI/CD?
Yeah. So you can't do directly on production base, but let's try with UI like UAT or like testing. It is because we need to automate a lot of things. So everyone is using AI. If you are using any tool, and if they are using AI on the back of that, you don't know. So you can integrate AI because nowadays a lot of AI plus DevOps tools are there, which are helping in testing, automations, everything.
Okay, so let's proceed and let's do the same thing. A rapid fire questionnaire with you. So coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early mornings or late nights?
Late nights.
Cool. AI doing the first draft or you doing the first draft?
I do, then AI do.
Okay. Fix it now or automate it forever?
Automate forever.
Okay.
I don't want like, we need to see that after some time. If we automate that, it will be helpful for everyone.
Breaking things to learn or playing safe in production?
Breaking things to run. Then only we can learn more. Otherwise we won't.
Reading error messages carefully or Googling immediately?
Reading error message carefully because it is a job of every DevOps or maybe every developer because then only we can understand the errors and then we can solve that.
Late night deployments or early morning releases?
Late night deployments.
So late night guy. Good, good. More alerts or fewer alerts but very smart ones?
Yeah, fewer alerts, and what I say in my talk is if smart alerts are there, it will help you a lot. We don't want noise. We don't want a lot of alerts, but we want that whichever alerts are important to us.
Trust the system or double check everything?
Check everything, I will say, because checking what SRE does is a whole dashboard of something, but you don't know, something fails, so check the system every time.
Okay. One powerful tool or many small tools? So in other words, a monolithic service, a monolithic application or microservices?
So it depends because I do talk with a lot of VPs of different companies, fintech companies and automation companies. But yeah, that depends, like on the company's business and something like that. I can rely on that.
Thank you, thank you. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to Neel Shah.
Thank you.